Divine Source, Great Spirit, we come with open hearts and open minds to receive your blessings, to be infused with light and truth, to be given the grace of remembrance. Speak to us, show us the way, and so it is. Greetings. Welcome to this new endeavor. I'm calling it Collapsing Time. As a child, I had many experiences of being transported out of my seeming body, my seeming experience in my bedroom or in a car, wherever I was. I might be transported to what seemed to be another time and space. I had experiences of stepping out of time and bouncing into pockets of other time. So I knew that time was not linear. I had an experience of that, but I didn't know what was happening. And as I got older, I came across many teachings that referenced many different kinds of experiences that I had. And as I was on my healing journey, I was led to many ways of practicing this idea of stepping out of time and also collapsing time. I was given these tools to understand how to play with energy and to play with my mind in a way that would allow me to release what had been stuck, to release what had no longer been serving, to release what was tired and outworn, outdated. And one of the kind of early messages that I received that really lit a fire in my heart at a time when I really needed it was A Course in Miracles. When I started devouring it, and there was much that didn't make sense and much that resonated and much that confused me and much that made my mind feel like it was going in circles. But I couldn't stop reading it, and I would read it so intensively that I would fall asleep with my face in the book. I'd often wake up with drool on the pages of the book, and I'd go into these very deep dreams, very intense healing dreams. And what I was shown over time was that the Spirit was taking me on journeys to collapse time, showing me either storylines that I had seemed to play out or be a part of in other time and space, or just sort of archetypally storylines that were wanting to be addressed. And in going through these journeys of re-experiencing the fear or the sadness or the rage or the destruction, that energy was being released, and I was being given back, you might say, my light. I was being realigned with the truth of who I was every time a storyline was deconstructed. So I was being given this experience of collapsing time in the dream state, but then I was also being shown how I had had many similar experiences that looked like my life, where events were playing out that you might say were old storylines looping around again, looking for completion. And so in the walking through day-to-day life, any number of events came onto my doorstep to give me an opportunity to choose a new way of perceiving and believing and experiencing myself and others. And when that part of A Course in Miracles, there's a part for me anyway that I remember reading that it was talking about collapsing time through this process of forgiveness, through this process of seeing that all of my beliefs and attitudes and opinions, what I think has been done to me or what others have done, what I think the rules of the world are, the time-space spectrum, however I have received the programming, that I have been wholly and entirely wrong about it. And that in each moment of accepting some misperception within, to accept that, oh, I really was wrong, that in those moments I was, again, once more shown the event or the belief or the perception and then freed of it. And in the freeing of it, that storyline that might have required another 10 lifetimes to play out got collapsed. It was turned to dust. And in that turning to dust, in rushed the light, the grace, the truth. And so I was shown that I don't have to play out another 1,000,000 lifetimes. I know I actually came here for completion. The idea of this lifetime was to settle old business, i.e. to heal and to forgive all the stories of time and space that I seem to have been a part of, and to be a part of that greater healing that is for the one mind. So when this idea of collapsing time came on to my radar in a very pointed, direct message from the Spirit, I knew it. And I was shocked that I was reading it, and it lit me up like a light bulb. And so that's the journey, in a way, you might say, of healing and of doing any kind of spiritual work in my universe, is for the purpose of collapsing time. Some people think time is to continue on and on and on. Well, that's okay. If that works for you, you may carry on. For me, I found time, the idea of a beginning, middle, end, to be a linear path that I'm to walk from birth to so-called death. I found that to not make sense to me. And I found these experiences of stepping out of time when it just happened organically and naturally to show me that actually time was not linear, it was simultaneous. So in the simultaneity, I found gateways into healing and into completion of what looked like linear storylines. So if you've been exploring these things, you'll know what I'm saying. And if you haven't, then it'll just be a door opener potentially for you into something new. I felt guided to start this right now, in part because of the story of Easter and the story of resurrection, but also because I was having my father show up in my mind and on the stage of my life in various ways. And I kept hearing something that he said when he was alive. And it was something like, it's going to go, it just doesn't know it yet. And what that meant, as far as I understood it, was that if he was working on building something and things weren't lining up properly, and he was getting frustrated and it wasn't going down the way he thought it was supposed to, that was sort of a statement of, I'm going to make this thing work. Or if it was a business deal and people weren't lining up with the attitudes and the resources and the things that he thought should go a certain way, again, it was like, I'm going to make everybody get on board with this program. Now, on one level, it's a sign of a very strong mind that we have to have and cultivate with the Spirit to lock on to a possibility of our enlightenment, of our awakening, of our healing. So on that level, it's a beautiful symbol of a very strong mind. On another level, we can say that is the ego's thought system. This idea of a personal will that is going to extract power from the world by lording power over the world. That's the thought system that brought this world into being. The thought system of, I don't need my divine source. Thank you very much. I'll be the author of my own experience, and I will show you who's boss. We have lots of demonstrations through the whole span of time of those that had a massive ego, a tremendous sense of a personal power, and they went about showing everyone and everything that they perceived themselves as top dog. We've got them on the world stage right now, many big glaring examples of personal will run riot. And as we've seen through the story of time, the ego, the personality, the cult of personality is extremely destructive. It unleashes chaos, confusion, suffering. And I've just been shown that's no way to go through this journey in a way that will bring me peace and joy and happiness, much less lead me to the truth of who I am. And so likely you've heard the call, and that's why you've clicked on this. There is another way. There is another way than trying to arrange all the characters on the stage in the manner that you think would be best. Everyone I know, everyone that I've worked with, everyone that I've seen in my day-to-day life for 57 years who has hit a wall, face planted, been honest enough to say they're sick and suffering, they've all been trying to exert personal will and failed. So what would it take today to admit powerlessness over the world and claim the power of the light in your mind and your heart? And if you're going to claim the power of light in your mind and your heart, then you're going to have to claim the truth of the divine and the truth of oneness and the truth of sameness, the truth of being equal to your fellows, not greater than, not less than, not better than, not worse than, but one of many in a grand orchestration. The personality wants to be special. It wants to be seen in a light that it perceives as favorable, and it will do anything in its power to realize that dream. It's going to go. It just doesn't know it yet. Let me manifest my way into the life that I think I should have. Well, we've been shown by one such as a Jesus that kind of worldly power is not power at all. And we've been shown by a Jesus that there's no point in fighting the cast of characters that wish to have the power in the world. He demonstrated for us the power of alignment and locking on and staying aligned in the truth, in that column of light, in that alignment with Source, in alignment with the one that is the power. And in that, he transcended the world and, by some accounts, resurrected in light in a manner that demonstrated for people that he was beyond the world and that he had transmuted the world and was operating here without the form. So whatever that means to you, it's not like that's an end goal that we need to be pursuing what he did on that level, but he's a demonstration for us to say you can either keep fighting it out on the world stage, or you can forgive everything you've believed and perceived about yourself and the world and your fellows. You can lock on to divine light and be infused with it, be engulfed in it, and be a blaze of light in it. And you can go home, but you have to collapse all the storylines, all of the energetics that would keep you from that alignment and keep you from that choice That choice is here right now. We don't need time to realize it. And in fact, you cannot heal in time. Healing does not happen in time. It is an out-of-time, transcendent experience. The mind can be healed. The mind can be brought back into unification. And the light will come back into unification when each of these storylines where we've become stuck, when they collapse, we come back into the awareness of our wholeness. So what would it take for you to be resurrected in this moment into the truth of your light, into the truth of your divinity? I'm sending much love. Bye for now.